Okay, so let's take a look at an example of how we can apply some of these business and economic terms in calculus operations into a real-life application, okay? So the demand function of a DVD player is P of X is equal to 575 over square root X minus 3, where X is the number of DVD players sold and P is the price in dollars. Determine the marginal revenue function and the marginal revenue when 200 DVD players are sold. Okay, so we're given the demand function, also known as the price function. We can understand that the price function is the unit price of a good, right? And the revenue is basically X times P of X. X is the quantities that's sold. Okay, so X is the units that are sold, right? Number of DVD players that are sold. And P of X is the price per unit. Okay? So what we want to do now is we want to figure out the revenue function first. So the revenue function here is X times P of X, or the demand function, 575 over square root X minus 3. Now you can write this another way. If you wanted to just purely use exponents, right, square root X, 1 over square root X can be written as X to the power negative 1/2, right? So you can write this as X times 575, X to the power 1/2 minus 3, and then I'm going to distribute the X to all of these terms on the inside. So what you're going to get here is 575 X to the power 1/2 minus 3X, right? So that's our revenue function. Now what we want to do here is we want to find the marginal revenue when we've sold 200 DVD players. So if we're finding our marginal revenue, we're finding the first derivative, r prime of x. So when we're finding the first derivative, because I changed this into just exponents, we can just utilize the power rule, so it's a lot easier. So if we find the marginal revenue, what we're going to get here is 575 over 2 x to the power negative 1/2 minus 3. Okay, so this is our marginal revenue function. We want to figure out the marginal revenue that's being made when we sell 200 DVD players. So I'm going to do r prime of 200, which is equal to 575 over 2 times 200 to the power negative 1/2 minus 3. If we convert this into just positive exponents, we should get 287.5 over the square root of 200 minus 3, which is going to give us 17.33. Okay, so our marginal revenue at 200 units being sold is $17.33. Okay, so that tells us how much revenue we're actually making per every extra unit that's being sold after this 200 units being sold.